Bushcraft 412 here with a knife review. Today we're going to be looking at the Condor Knife and Teal Kumunga Camp Knife. This is a 10-inch chopping knife. I got it online, I believe from knifecenter.com for around $30, give or take $5. It might have been $35, closer with shipping. The knife, 10-inch knife, polypropylene handle, comes with a sheath. Leather sheath. I'm actually really happy with the sheath. The sheath has a pivoting belt loop, which I really like. I don't like the stiff, rigid ones. I end up never wearing them because you sit down and they're jabbing into the ground. Really thick sheath. Really thick leather. Stitching's really good. Really good quality. Really like it. Enough of that. The knife. I love this knife. I could just have an affair with this knife. I do love it. I've had it a couple of weeks. The first day I got it, I took it out, chopped some branches with it, and this thing just cuts through green branches like butter. Unbelievable. Took this out on a weekend trip with a couple of friends, and we chopped, I swear, a ton of wood. Literally a ton of wood. We were hammering on this thing for a whole weekend, batoning, splitting, clearing branches, doing everything. This thing held up so nice. As you can see, if you look at the blade in the light here, there's a lot of scuffing. It's already pretty dirty, but I abused this thing. I didn't clean it up yet just because I wanted to show you the knife after a hard use. You can see the I believe the baked on coating did kind of peel back in a couple of places, but I don't care. When it gets bad enough, I'm just going to tape the blade and spray paint it black because, you know, the coating to me isn't that big a deal. The knife's 10.5 inches. Great chopper. Great batoning. It weighs a little over a pound. It's basically like a small machete is what it is. Handle's okay for the grip. You definitely want. I had some paracord running through here and had a lanyard because it can get a little slippery because it is smooth polypropylene handle, and there's not much as for finger grips or anything. So the lanyard hole definitely came in handy. The edge, I believe it's a convex grind. Condor Knife and Tool is kind of known for having issues with their quality control. I have not had an issue with a knife yet. But I've seen videos of some people having problems with the edges being ground differently. I know Condor does hand grind the edges, or at least they used to. I'm not sure if that's the case. It did look to be a convex edge, but it held up really nice after a whole weekend. It really only needed just a couple of minutes of retouching. Didn't even have to pull out the file. I just got it with a stone and a ceramic rod, and it cleaned up beautifully. Or, you know, at least sharpened right back up to where it was. This doesn't need to be razor sharp. I left it, you know, enough where it'll take hair off your arm, but not any sharper than that. My only complaint about this knife, and this camera's probably not going to show you that good, and I apologize, I'm going to be upgrading cameras in the next couple of weeks, and I might redo a lot of these videos. Hopefully this will show. But the edge, I did drop it and it hit a rock and the edge chipped off. It was just a little sharp point right on the edge, and it did chip off. It left me a little concerned about how, you know, how durable this blade is going to be long term. But I mean, after the amount of abuse and torture I put this through, I mean, it's really held up well. And not only that, but when you are doing some fine work, you can really choke up on the blade and do some fine work if you're carving. I was making some tent pegs, and it does really good with the close-up work. And I am working on converting a small section of the blade into more of like a Scandi grind than the convex, something to use for fine work. Maybe just an inch or two on the end. It'll take some time because I'll have to probably get a grinder to bring back the edge a little bit and flatten it out. Overall, really dig this knife. Really a great investment. You know, your use for this isn't something you're going to bring, you know, car camping. This isn't something you're going to bring, you know, if you're staying at a lean-to. This is something, if you're going to be in the woods making a shelter, clearing brush, things like that, this is a good overall knife. You can do some fine work with it. It's great for clearing branches, and you can split and baton wood with it. It really batons good. It's got a really nice thick edge, and there is only the one bevel, so it does work pretty good for batoning. I was batoning some good 4-inch logs with it, no problem. The edge, no problems with the spine of the blade at all. That stayed great. Cannot really complain except for the little piece on the end that kind of chipped. Great knife, no complaints. And the only thing I did bring with this was I did bring the Ultimate Survival Technology saw, and in conjunction with the two of these, I was able to take down, 6-inch logs and then process them with this. So between the two, I was able to make a lot of wood in a hurry. The saw works great. The knife is really good at splitting. Smaller twigs, 2-inch twigs, things like that, you baton through them with just a couple of good hits. The larger 4-inch ones, took a little work, but, this thing is 95 as effective as a machete, and, it weighs close to what a good machete weighs. You're talking 75% of the weight, but about 95% of the cutting power. So, for heavy use, making shelters, things like that, when space is important, you don't want to carry a full-size machete, this is a good option. This size, this range, can really be a good benefit to you. And I'm going to be putting up a few more videos this week, but this one's here for now. If you have any comments about the knife, I'd love to hear them, because there's not much up on this knife, and I'll hope you enjoyed the video.